Alrighty, so I think we are good to go here. Sorry, we're a couple minutes late, guys. We're just gonna take a couple seconds, make sure all of our technical stuff is working properly, and then we will get started with Black Friday University for Thursday, November 16th, 2017. Perfect. So that looks like we are good to go. So welcome to Black Friday University. Again, the date is Thursday, the 16th of November, 2017. This is part of our Black Friday University series here from Bold Commerce, and we are talking about kind of all the tips and tricks you need to make sure that your Black Friday Cyber Monday weekend is as successful as it possibly can be. This is part of our BFCM Expert Series, where we're talking with experts from around the Shopify community about how to make a really successful Black Friday promotion. Unfortunately, our guest today flaked on us, so Mike is going to fill in here. He's host of our School of Commerce series, also host of our Two Scoops series as well. So he's going to lend a ton of great insight to us today.
Don't sell me short, Aubrey. I used to do a lot of email work. I've managed email for a lot of clients, a lot of e-commerce clients. So this is going to be a good one. We're going to set you up with everything that you need to know. You know what I mean? Black Friday, as Aubrey mentioned, is right around the corner. So this is going to be those ones where we're going to give you 3 emails that you must be sending. You got to be sending. If you're already sending them, let us know and ask us for maybe some suggestions or some feedback. There's definitely ways that you can turn a single email automation into a series. We know all about that. As well, we will be walking you through some of the series. For example, the welcome series, the onboarding series. We've got examples, so that way if you watch this one, or even if you don't have a chance to watch this one live, maybe you're watching this later in the future, we'll walk you step by step the exact emails that you need to send in your onboarding series. So this is really a great one, especially if you're new to email marketing, or even if you've been doing email marketing for a while. This live stream will give you absolutely everything that you need to be successful this Black Friday. So I'm pumped about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've talked about email marketing before on Black Friday University. This is going to be a really kind of deeper dive into automations and how Black Friday can really be 10x'd by email marketing automations. We've talked about a whole bunch of tools on this show before, so we're not going to go too in depth. If you need a reminder, MailChimp, Klaviyo, Dotmailer, Rare.io are all big recommendation of ours. But yeah, we're going to go into kind of in depth about those automations. We're also going to post in the chat box at the end a link to our previous webinar where we just went over kind of a general email marketing flow for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to go back and watch it live. We had a ton of great questions and content there. Speaking of questions, if you do have any, throw them in the chat box on the right-hand side, or use the Ask a Question button right underneath the video, and we will be able to answer those questions live. Or if you have any topics that you'd like to see us talk about, be sure to throw them in there as well, and we can see if we can cover them today. So without further ado, again, we've discussed email marketing and how crucial it is to have kind of automation set up and to be leveraging email marketing over Black Friday. So let's talk about kind of a few different series that we can possibly do. So I think the first thing we'll talk about is an onboarding email series or a welcome series. Every single one of those tools that I mentioned, I think promotes this as like one of the series that you have to be running because it's so easy. You can, as soon as a customer gets added to your list, start emailing them with different offers and different content and kind of get them engaged with your brand and connected to your brand in some way.
I'm assuming before, even if you have any emails automation set up at all, you're probably collecting emails. I mean, that's e-commerce 101. Even before your store is up and running, what a lot of stores do, and I think you have to do it. When you're setting up your store and it's not up and running yet, and somebody goes to your website, it says coming soon. Please enter your email address. I think that's like stock on Shopify, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe you can turn it on or something like that.
Yeah, no, you're right there. And I mean, even if you're not, deliberately collecting email addresses, you usually see like a little box on a website that says enter your email address, sign up for a newsletter. every customer that makes a purchase from you is in effect adding themselves to that email address. Especially if you're on Shopify, the email address is needed for them to be able to check out, you know. And so you already have this great source of email addresses that you're getting from people, and those are people that you can market to and create series for.
And we mentioned this series a lot in the past, so just the broad strokes here, you want to encourage your customers to subscribe to your list because number one, email is one of the most direct ways that you can be in communication with your customers. Number two, they are giving you permission to talk to them. You know, social media is one thing. You know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of clutter there. Nobody's really necessarily asking for you to talk to them. It's just they're looking for people to talk to. They're looking for information. Whereas email, when your customer gives you their email address, they're essentially saying, "I want to hear from you. I want to hear more." So it gives you a big opportunity, and we've talked about that a lot in the past. So what we wanted to do today is kind of cut this one down and dissect it a little bit. So we've mentioned you should have a welcome series, but what does that mean? What is the welcome series? What should you be, what type of information should you be giving? Is it one email? Is it two emails? What should be in these emails? Long story short, let's get right into it. Talking about the welcome series. Treat this email as you would a customer coming in to your store. And the best way that I think about it is the Walmart greeter. You know what I mean? Regardless of what kind of store you run, or even if we're specifically talking about Walmart, there's a friendly face, they're standing there, you walk right into the store, they say, "Hi, welcome to Walmart. Is there anything I can help you with?" If you have any questions, you have an opportunity to ask them. That's the exact same thing with this welcome email. Encourage your customers to ask questions. So say, welcome to the Fern Shop. If there's anything that we can help you with, this is going to be the place to ask those questions. Please let us know what we can do. So right off the bat, you're showing how involved with the customer you're going to be. You're showing your customer service. You're giving them an opportunity to ask any questions. And at the same time, you're also giving yourself an opportunity to learn what it is that your customers are looking for. So that way, if you want to improve your store, use this customer feedback, if you get any, as an opportunity to maybe provide some more information on your website, so that way people don't have to ask these questions. Email marketing gives you so much opportunity to not only communicate with your customers, but also develop your store and create that store. So that way, the more questions you can answer through email, you know what, if you can answer those questions on your website, then that's great too. It's just giving you more information on what your customers want.
Yeah, for sure. And that email, you know, your example of the Walmart greeter is like exactly correct, because you don't really have a chance to do that a lot in e-commerce.
Yeah.
You customers go to a website and, you know, maybe 80 or 90% of them you'll never hear from again.
Yep.
They show up once and then they go away, and you never get a chance to talk to them and kind of sell them on your brand if your website didn't do a good enough job for that. And so the welcome series is exactly like you said. It's a greeter. It lets customers have the opportunity to say, "Yes, I'm looking for this," or "Yes, how can you guys help me with this?" You know, it's such a great opportunity to get in contact with customers, and so yeah, it's super valuable.
And another really great thing about the welcome email is it gives you an opportunity to set the tone of how your relationship is going to be and the type of communication that you'll be providing for your customers. So along with welcoming them, you know, saying, "Is there anything else we can help you with?" Maybe this is a great opportunity to set the expectations, to say, "Hey, you know what, thanks for joining our list. Here's what you can expect." And then maybe list some of the upcoming emails or some of the things that are up and coming. You can expect to be the first to hear about all of our sales and upcoming products. You can be the first to hear about anything that's going on in your store. This is going to be a great opportunity, and then maybe even take it one step further, just so they know how often that you're going to get those emails. Time and time again, sometimes we feel overwhelmed. We get too many emails at once. So letting your customer know, "Hey, you know what, we'll probably be sending you an email once or twice a week letting you know." So that way they know it's coming. They're not going to be turned off right away. And you know what, it's going to be taking that one step away from them, so that way they know what's coming, and you're just being really upfront and honest with them too. People love transparency, so let your customers know what to expect.
For sure. So Mike, we talked about the initial welcome email. So the customers signed up for our welcome series, they've entered it in some way, whether they made a purchase on our site or they signed up for a newsletter or they signed up for blog updates or something like that. After that initial welcome email, what more emails go into a welcome series?
Okay, so this is one is almost just as important as the first. So Aubrey, you did mention maybe they made a purchase or maybe they signed up for just for your email list. So on one hand, if they merely gave you an email without making a purchase, they haven't actually become a customer yet. On the other hand, if they made a one-time purchase, they've only made one purchase. There's so much more that you can sort of get from them, because as we know, a repeat customer is worth 10x that of a single purchase customer. So this is your opportunity to inform and educate your customers. Now that they've made that first purchase, or now that they've signed up for your email series, this is now an opportunity to almost spell out a little bit more what you said in the first one. So let's say you gave a few bullet points in the first email. Here's what you can expect. Here's you'll be the first to know. It's kind of an insider's club. Now really educate the subscriber. Educate them on your products. Show them, here's our top products. Here's what we've got going on. Maybe you provide a service or some sort of membership. Customers might not know that. So the welcome email is the hi, hello, how you doing? The educate and inform email is showing everything that you do have to offer. Show them your products. Show them your services. Maybe talk a little bit about customer support. Maybe introduce them to your customer service. Maybe even show them, your workspace. People love to get a behind the scenes look, so something like that. It's just your opportunity to give your customers more of an understanding of what you do have to offer. Perhaps they bought a purchase that was from a Facebook ad or something on social. So all they really know is that you sell a speaker. This email is almost an opportunity to say, yeah, we do sell speakers, but we also provide these services here, and we have these products here, and this is what else we do, and this is how engaged we are with our community, and these are the people that work for us. You're trying to build that relationship. You've already said welcome to the family, you know what I mean? Now really treat them like that. Introduce them to any of your other services or your products, because ultimately what that's going to do, it's going to educate them so that way they know what you have to offer. And yeah, you're just going to show, it's a really great opportunity for you to take that one step further and show them what you really can do for them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we talked with Paul from Pura Vida Bracelets on Monday, and one of I think the best insights that we got out of that was that your brand and your business online has to be a story, So Pura Vida is this great story about how, the founders, Paul and Griffin, found these, people who were not very well off on a beach, and they wound up buying a whole bunch of these bracelets from them, I think 400 bracelets or some ridiculous number like that, and came back 2 weeks later because they had sold them all online, and now they're continuing to buy bracelets from these artisans. And so they built this really, really cool story. They give a whole bunch to charity. They have kind of this personality for their brand. And if we think of that brand story like an actual book, not to get too abstract here, but your welcome series is kind of like your prologue, right? So the customer might have seen just the cover and they saw it at the bookstore and they thought, okay, I'll open it up to see what's in there. The prologue is that initial welcome email. Chapter 1 is setting the story, and it's kind of setting up all the characters, and that's the initial, well, I shouldn't say the initial, the second and third emails in that welcome series where we're kind of educating and informing, and then we continue to nurture them through that welcome series after they've finished the first few chapters and they've kind of gotten a taste, right? So it's a really, really great way to get customers to connect with your brand and teach them more about kind of the people behind the brand. I think a lot of stores are maybe too pushy with email marketing. They say, well, on every single email, I'm just going to send out our latest sales and latest stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
But customers will pick up on that and they'll say, well, wait a minute, why am I just reading a flyer every week? I don't want to do that. We need to send them content that's really engaging and informative and something that's going to, convince them that there's people behind the brand, right?
Sure. Yeah, that's a really great way to look at it too. I mean, for a welcome series, there's really 3 emails that you can be sending, but you can extend those. So nurturing those customers, showing them what you have to offer, taking this opportunity to also educate them about your products. Sure, you can say, here are some of our top sellers, but then maybe include an email showing the versatility of your products or something like that, showing really easy ways to use them. Let's say you sell maybe shaving cream or razors or something like that. Maybe create an email that's showing them the 1, 2, step 3 process of the best shave of your life. Wash your face, shave your face, use our product, something like that. So you're giving them information, you're nurturing your customers, and you're not just selling. I never really thought of it like that, but that's exactly it. Your customers are going to be turned off if they just get that promotional email, that flashy flyer every month. But if you welcome, you educate them, you inform them, you show the versatility of your products, you're answering their questions, they're probably going to start to build a relationship with you and really understand. And at that point in time, the third part of the welcome series, that's going to be the opportunity to send that bulk mailer. You know what I mean? You welcome them, you've sent a few emails. Now that you have them on your list, you can send them your monthly special, you know, your Christmas flash sale, your Valentine's Day discount, or your March Madness meltdown sale. You know, whatever it is, there's essentially, you know, as Aubrey mentioned, these flyer types of emails. You can send one of these a month, and customers are expecting that. But what they're not expecting, what they're going to appreciate, are the emails that come before this that really welcome them and that really educate them and inform you on your products.
Yeah. So we've talked about the onboarding automation and kind of welcome series. Excuse me. The best part about these, like we mentioned, you know, time and time again on these webinars, is that they're so easily automated. It's so easy to set these up. Like we use MailChimp in-house, but we have a whole bunch of clients who use Klaviyo, who use Dotmailer. You know, it's so easy to set these up using those services. Like when a client gets added to the list, we're going to send them an email after week 1, and then after week 2, and after week 4. And you kind of have to set it up once, and then you can forget it for, you know, a little while until you want to start optimizing. But it does all the legwork for you. You just have to do kind of the initial setup and get everything connected. But after that, it's so easy, and you know, these emails sell themselves, right? They're so easy to send to customers. So, you know, we've talked about onboarding and kind of welcome emails. Anything else to add to that, Mike?
I think that if you just wanted a good takeaway, we've talked a little bit about 3. So here's 5 emails that have a purpose behind them. So there's some logic behind them. You can do whatever you want. You can tailor them however you want. You can write your own copy. The 5 emails are welcome, nurture, inform, recommend, and then sell. So we talked a lot about that. The welcome to them to the family, thank them for subscribing, show them what you have to offer. Nurture them. Say, here's a little bit more about us. Here's our story. So that way they have that little bit more information. Inform them about another service that you have to offer. Maybe the why. Why are you doing this? Why did you start your store? The recommend, show them your top selling products, recommend some products to them, and then only at that point send that big bulk mailer, so that way they have as much information as they could possibly have. If they're not ready to buy yet, they're not ready to buy, but I feel like that's certainly enough information for you to then send them a promotional email that's going to have that discount or that sale, and then they'll be a customer.
For sure. So let's move on from welcome series and kind of automations. Let's talk about some emails that we need for Black Friday. You know, we've talked about these onboarding series, and the onboarding series apply throughout the year. You know, anytime you've got an e-commerce business, you need an onboarding series. There's no question about it. You're missing out on tremendous potential if you don't have some kind of onboarding series. But let's talk about some Black Friday specific stuff. So I think the first thing and kind of the most important is the abandoned cart email. Again, this is kind of one that you can use all year for sure, but if it's not set up for Black Friday, again, tons of opportunity left on the table.
Yeah, and I've said it before. I know I've said it before, and this one's drilled in my brain. $4.1 trillion are left on the e-commerce table every year due to abandoned cart emails.
Jeez.
So what that means is, obviously, there's a huge pot of money that people have put the item in the cart, and they just haven't made that purchase yet. So there's money literally sitting on the table waiting for you. They've already agreed, they like the product, they've put it in your cart. There's just something that happened that they didn't push that buy now button. And we all know what happened. They got distracted, maybe the phone rang, maybe they're on Facebook, maybe there's something on TV. They just got distracted, you know what I mean? Maybe they had 10 tabs open. I think I have like 10 tabs open right now. So you get distracted, you close that tab, you forget all about that purchase that you wanted to make. The abandoned cart email is that opportunity just to shake your customer up a little bit and remind them. Just to say, hey, just to knock on their screen and say, hey, you forgot this item in your cart. Are you still interested in making this purchase? Sometimes we all get busy. We totally hear that. We just wanted to send you an email to say, is this something that you still want? So all it really is pants and suspenders at this point. You know, you're ready to go. You have the item in your cart, and you just have a little bit more protection on your end. So that way, you know, you don't lose that customer. Those are the suspenders or the belt or whatever you have it. It's just insurance that there's an opportunity here that you don't want to miss. If they don't say yes to that abandoned cart email, so what? But you know what? This is just an opportunity for them to say yes. So why not give them that opportunity?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you touched on this, but there's so many opportunities for us to lose customers. For starters, we have to get customers, which means we have to advertise to them, we have to drive people to our website. And there's so many opportunities for people to kind of fall off. You know, they might look at a product page and then they fall off there because it wasn't the product they were looking for, or maybe we're out of the size, or maybe their browser crashed or something, and so we lost them. And then we get all the way to the bottom where we're so close. We have this group of people who, everything fell into place. We gave them the right advertising. They saw the right product. We had their size in stock. They liked how our cart page looked, all of this stuff. They got all the way there. They filled in their billing information, and then they said they were 2 seconds away from clicking on the button, and then they forgot about us for some reason, or they were turned off by something on that page. And so the abandoned cart series is like such a good way to, get those people back, whether it's, and again, it can be worded in a very friendly way, not, hey, I see you left something in the cart here, why don't you finish your purchase? Mm-hmm. A lot of brands I see do this as kind of like a personal appeal, like, hey, it's, Bob Boberson from the Fern Shop. I really appreciate you making it to our site. And it looks like your purchase didn't, sorry, I'm laughing at Bob Boberson. Made it all the way to your site, and you made it to the site, you made it to the cart, but it looks like you left something, excuse me, in there. I can't finish this.
Well, all you're really doing here is you're showing your customer service. You're letting your customer service shine through. Your customer service is one of your best marketing assets. You know what I mean? If people know that they're getting good quality assurance and they're getting good customer service, it's just going to allow them to come back and shop in your store a little bit more against your competition. If your competition is sending super awesome emails too, but there's no customer service there, maybe the customer received a product, they weren't happy with it, or they're having an issue with your service and nobody's getting a hold of them, they're going to be really turned off. And if your company, your e-commerce store is that one that's going and giving that extra customer service, that's going that extra mile to make sure their purchase arrived on time, that their purchase arrived to the exactly how they wanted it, they're going to come back to your store and they're going to shop. They're going to shop more. So every time I see that email from Bob Boberson, I know that he's going to come with me with something that's going to be really valuable to me. So that's another thing. You want to set those expectations and know that. Think about it this way. You open your email box and you have 20 to 20,000 emails a day, and all you see is who it's from. If you're sending good quality emails that are helpful and informative and they show the versatility of your products and you're giving your customers really good deals, every time you see that list of 20 to 20,000 people, your name is going to stand out. Mm-hmm. They're going to see it and they're going to just bypass all the other ones and they're going to go click on that because they know that what they're getting from you is quality. If you think about it on the other end, if you're just sending flyer emails every single time, by month 4, they're probably just gonna, your name is just gonna melt with the rest of the people that are just sending those buy now emails. So, but that being said, if you're sending good quality emails, if you're helping your customers out, and if you're giving good deals too, you know what I mean? Those good deals are gonna get customers buying back, they're gonna bring traffic to your store. So make sure that you are having really good deals. It doesn't have to be every month, but even seasonally, showcase your new seasonal collection. Have that summer sale. Have that it's getting cold out, I'm sure this is going to warm you up type of sale. There's so much room to play around with emails. It's just going to be a matter of making sure that what you're sending is what your customers want. And yeah, just make sure that you're not sending too many emails and that the emails that you are sending are what your customers want to see.
Yeah, so actually, good question is how often... So what period of time, so the customer abandons their cart. I don't know if you have any data on this. I know you used to work in email marketing a whole bunch, but after they actually go through the process of abandoning their cart, what's the timeline like as far as recovering them? Like, when should I send out this abandoned cart email? Should I send it after an hour? Should I send it after 6? Should I send it after 24? Do you have any insight on that?
Yeah, I think so. The answer is the right time is the right time for your customers. So, and what I mean by that is there's a few ways that you can do it. You can send one 1 hour, you can send one 24 hours, you can send one 72 hours. Try them all out and then look at the data. See which emails are getting the most open rates and the most click-through rates. So definitely experiment with that. We often refer to this as A/B testing or split testing your emails. The best way to find out when the best time to send your emails, I don't know how many times I've got emails or I've been online or I've read an article that says these are the best times for you to send your emails for the most open rates. That's a load of hooey. There's no perfect time for every store because every store is different, every customer is different. The only way for you to find out what the perfect time to send emails for your store is to look at the data. And data doesn't lie. You can get an email or you can read an online article or something like that, or you can go right to the playbook and look at your data. The data doesn't lie. That's when you can be sending it. If you want to test it out and you just want to see when people are opening them, here's an example of a 3-part abandoned cart email series that you can send. Number 1, you send out an email 1 hour after. You know what? Sometimes people just get distracted. Maybe they're still shopping. Boom. They see that they forgot their item in the cart. You sent them an email. Do you still want this item? You make it look nice. You actually show the product that they bought in there, reminding them, putting that product top of mind. Are you still interested in this? And if they're not, they're not. From there, then you send an email out 24 hours after. A full day, just reminding them again. You know what? You left this item in your cart. Is there anything we can do for you? Are you still interested in this product? Just let us know. The third email, and I think a lot of companies do this, the third email, you know what I mean? If they didn't want it the first time, they didn't want it the second time, you're probably not going to send another email because it's just going to get annoying. So on the third email, maybe provide them with a little bit of an incentive to complete that purchase. You know what? If you have the opportunity to maybe offer free shipping on that product, say, all right, you know what, maybe you got distracted. If you are still interested in this product, we really want you to make that purchase. Maybe word it a little bit differently, but the theory behind this one is saying, listen, we'll stop bugging you after this one, but just in case you do want this item and you really, really did get distracted, take free shipping off this product and we'll send it to you and you'll have it at your home in the next few days. Or, you know what, we get it, you might not have wanted this product, maybe take 5, 10, 15% off this product, and in that way, they'll have completed that purchase. Sometimes people don't want to give out incentives because it devalues their store or it devalues your product. Yes, that is true. But on the other hand, you're just solidifying the sale and you're getting this customer into the buying cycle. You're getting them to make that first purchase. What's 10, 15% here? What's the cost of free shipping? It's no real sweat if this customer then turns into a 5, 10, 15 times purchase customer. That $6 that you had to spend on them to ship that product out for free, or that $13 that you had to take a loss from to give them that 15%, has the potential to turn into a $100, $1,000, $1,500, $10,000 customer. You know, you never really know. But do your best to get them to solidify that purchase. And this is all through one email. So that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, for sure. I think just to close off on abandoned carts, Mike has said so much valuable stuff here, but I think if I were to close off with one thing, it would be that if you're not sending abandoned cart emails, your competitors are. And this is on by default in Shopify. It's on by default in so many other e-commerce platforms. Particularly on Black Friday, where customers are looking around, looking for the best deals. And I think you're going to see a higher percentage of abandoned carts on Black Friday as people kind of get all the way through and try to see how much their actual purchase is going to be with shipping costs, things like that. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to lose them there because they're comparison shopping, they're window shopping. And so the abandoned cart email is kind of like the follow-up call from the salesperson at the car dealership, right?
Great example.
It's like, we had this great talk. You really showed interest in this. I just wanted to see if there's anything I could do to kind of, push you in the right direction here, give you a little nudge, and get that sale going from you. So if you're not doing them, we've said it so many times that the reason for that is because there's such a huge amount of value that we see out of them, and that companies see out of them. There's a reason Shopify has them turned on by default. It's because they're so valuable to them. So make sure to have those abandoned cart series set up before Black Friday. So I think the last type of email that we're going to talk about is the first purchase email. Mm-hmm. So, going back to our webinar on Monday with Paul from Pura Vida Bracelets, they kind of explained how they do first purchase emails and series and things like that. And one of the cool things that they noted that we talked about yesterday as well was that the second purchase is almost more valuable to them
Yes.
than the first purchase
I
because
couldn't agree more.
um, because if they make the first purchase, you know, our advertising has worked and that's great. But to really get a good ROI on all of our advertising, we need them to make more purchases and we need them to become a loyal customer. They said they see very few people with exactly 2. It's either 1 or it's more. And so, well, it's either 1 or it's more than 2, because after they make the second, they start making a third and a fourth and
Sure.
a fifth, because they've trusted that brand is going to, you know, fulfill its promise. If they order one time, maybe it was a fluke, it just happened to work out. But if they get that second time,
Yeah.
you know, they have trust. They know that the brand works and that the sale works. So, excuse me. You know, so that second purchase is super important, and one of the easiest ways to incentivize that second purchase is through a first purchase email.
Yes.
And email series. So I think there's a couple different ways you can do this. For starters, we talked yesterday a lot about receipt marketing. So there's a ton of opportunity there. Customers are really reading online store receipts, and particularly after Black Friday, because you know, they might have ordered from a bunch of different places. They need products shipped to them. They need to check what the tracking numbers for those products are. But you can also do it just in like an email series that happens very similar to your welcome series. After they've made that first purchase, they're on your email list. Start sending them an email, you know, maybe a week or 2 weeks after you've shipped their order that just says, hey, how's it going? Is everything all right with your product? You know, this might help nip social media complaints in the bud,
100%,
because if they get their product and the box was crushed by the shipper, or it wasn't what they ordered, or it was in the wrong size, or, you know, there's a ton of different things that can go wrong here. If we send them that email automatically after they've made that purchase and after we think they've gotten their product, then that's an opportunity for us to kind of proactively reach out and make sure everything's all right, as opposed to waiting for that customer to contact us, you know, angrily because their order wasn't what they wanted, or even worse, arguably, is to reach out on social media and start sharing with everybody that, you know, there's something really wrong with their particular order.
And it also really shows that you care and that you're invested in your customer, and that you want to make sure that what they purchased is what they wanted and it arrives. So it's almost, it's an opportunity for you to really take that next step and show your customer service and show your customer care. The best part about this type of email is that you know how long it's going to take to ship a product. So if it takes 4 days, or if it takes 3 days, or if it takes 7 days, you have that information. So line up this email with that purchase email. They made the purchase, you know it's going to take 3 to 4 days to get them, so then maybe send that email 5 to 7 days after that. They're probably going to be surprised too. They're going to be like, wow, I just got my purchase. It looked great. I love it. And I also got an email asking me if everything arrived on time. That's next level customer service, and customers are for sure going to appreciate that. On the other hand, if the product didn't arrive as well, you know, you do nip that in the butt right away, but it also gives you a really good opportunity to fine tune your store. If you're getting a lot of feedback from your customers that's saying, you know, it took a really long time to get here. No, it wasn't actually as it was on the website. This is feedback that is going to allow you to make your store better. If the product didn't arrive like they thought it would, maybe that's an opportunity for you to take some better product photos, maybe fix your product description, maybe add additional specs, something along those lines. Because if the product isn't arriving as they expected, maybe there's something on your website that you could fix in order to nip that in the bud. Number 2, if your packaging sucks or it's taking a long time to get there, maybe it's because you're drop shipping and it's time to look at maybe another third-party vendor, or maybe it's time to look at another different shipping company, so that way you can get your products out to your customers as fast as possible. So that first purchase follow-up email, why don't we call it that? So you've got, they make the purchase, send them an email just as you would with the welcome. Thanks for making your first purchase. We're so happy that you made that purchase. Get them to make a second purchase. You know what, just for making this first purchase, we want to throw you this coupon code or this discount, so that way when you make your next purchase, it's going to make it that much easier. Bingo, bango. Now they made that purchase, you send that email, and we can't stress this enough. This is all automated. So maybe if you're new to email marketing or you haven't seen our past webinars, you can send out all these emails that happen strictly based off of triggered events. So you send the first purchase email, the trigger is as soon as they make that purchase. The next email in the series is going to go out 5 to 7 days or however many days it's going to take that product to get there. The trigger is going to be send this email out 5 to 7 days after they made their purchase. So it's that easy. And then all that has to happen is your customers just make the purchase and the emails send themselves. So you don't even have to really do anything with that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and there's a lot of opportunity to personalize those emails too, you know. So if you're using an email automation tool, I would definitely recommend in the first purchase follow-up email, and the one that's going out, you know, 5 to 7 or 10 days after they made their purchase, you can include, if they've only made one product, just a merge field with the name of that product. So,
oh man,
hey, yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
so good, so personalized. You know, hey, it's Aubrey from the Fern Shop. I saw that you purchased a blue t-shirt from us. I just wanted to know, is it fitting properly? Is everything going all right with it? Did it arrive on time? All this other information, and just personalizing that it goes so far to making sure, you know, again, going back to the kind of car dealership example, if you make a purchase from a car dealership, you get a call from the salesperson like a week after saying, hey, is everything going all right? I really want you to be happy. And that has never been possible in brick and mortar before, because, you know, the guy from Best Buy is not going to call me after I buy a video game there a week later saying, hey, how do you like it? They just don't have time for that. But you can automate it when it's online with, again, a whole bunch of these tools, and it's you know, it's a really great chance to make sure that you're nipping those problems in the bud and making customers feel like they're really, really valued.
Yeah, and just look at it two ways. On one hand, you can send an email that says, hey, how are you enjoying your purchase? And that's great. That's good feedback. The customer's probably going to enjoy getting that email. But think about how much more effective the email would be saying, rather than how are you enjoying your first purchase, how are you enjoying your 6-foot fern or something like that? You know what I mean? Like the exact product that they purchased using the merge tags, which is, there's a button in these email platforms where you can put the product in there. Last purchase, last product. It's so you don't have to think about this stuff. They make it as easy as possible for you to do that. And that personalization just goes a really, really long way.
Yeah, so we're kind of running short on time here. You know, unless you have anything else to add here, Mike, we'll wait just a minute or so. If anybody has any questions they'd like to throw in the chat box, they can definitely do that. Otherwise, next week, today's our last of our Black Friday expert series, but next week we'll have Black Friday University every day, Monday through Thursday, where we're going to walk through a different sale idea you can run. So we're Bold Commerce, we make apps for Shopify, obviously. We're gonna do just a screen share basically of how to set up different sales using Shopify. It'll probably be about 20 minutes or so, and the schedule is all live on Crowdcast there, so you can check out if there's a particular day where you want just kind of a video walkthrough and you can follow along with us, ask questions. You can definitely do that next week. So this has been Black Friday University with Bold Commerce. We have 7 days. Is that what it says on the Doomsday Clock?
I think it's 7 days, 8 hours at this point.
7 days, 8 hours until Black Friday, Cyber Monday starts that whole weekend. And we're here through right up until Friday or Thursday, I suppose, with the latest and greatest in tips and tricks. And we really want you guys to be successful. So, you know, be sure to tune in next week. Mike, thanks very much. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No problem. This has been Black Friday University with Bold Commerce. Happy selling.